descent.
So, it's already been 10 years since a video game called Subnautica reached the hands of gamers. Probably most of us in the world already know this game, or at least heard bits and pieces about it. Nevertheless, Subnautica was able to make a name for itself in the gaming industry as one of the best survival games out there. But considering that such a long time has already passed since its release date, you might be wondering if the game has stood the test of time, and I'm here to help you answer that question. Subnautica is one hell of a ride, I can tell you that. It was developed by a studio called Unknown Worlds, and to put it simply, it is a game where you are swimming in an ocean. But we have to dive deeper to uncover all of its beauty. Get it? Dive deeper? Alright, sorry for making this awkward. You are playing an unnamed character whose ship called Aurora just crash landed on an unknown ocean world. You are the sole survivor of the crash, and your goal is to leave this godforsaken planet by any means possible. And yeah, we are just starting off, but I will explain later why this is a godforsaken planet. You start off in your life raft that was shot out of the spaceship just before the crash. Everything goes to hell, and you get a hard slap to the face from a loose metal sheet that reminds you of how your mom used to slap you when you came back home drunk as a teenager from a party. You finally wake up, and the whole place is burning, probably because Mr. Worldwide's finally set that roof on fire.
Dale.
You extinguish the flames, and this is when the real gameplay starts. Once you extinguish the flames, you spot a ladder. You climb to the hatch at the top, open it up, and see a breathtaking view that can probably develop thalassophobia in people that didn't have it, or awaken it for those who didn't know they had it before starting this game. You are suddenly overwhelmed with a dreadful feeling of uncertainty, because you cannot see what lurks beneath the surface of the water, but you are also not very keen of finding out. This is the point in the game that can usually drive you away from it because the feeling is too overwhelming, or it draws you more in. You want to find out what's going to happen next. You get that feeling of becoming an explorer of the unknown and want to find and uncover all the secrets that are hidden out there. You technically become an uglier version of Lara Croft. But that's what gaming should be all about, right? Evoking emotions you can't simply evoke in real life, giving you a surge of adrenaline and a fun time. Once you get through this stage of uncertainty, another one follows straight away. You gather all your strength and finally jump into the water, but you don't really like what you are greeted with. The sounds that you hear from the ocean for the first time you get in the water are one of the eeriest sounds I've ever heard. Honestly, it sounds like someone is strangling a fish there. Not that I know how that sounds though. If you haven't played the game yet, I will not spoil the experience anymore for you. I will not go into further details of what you can uncover in the game that can provoke one or another emotion in you, but throughout your gameplay, you will definitely uncover at least 5 more such moments that will either make you want to stop playing the game or continue further if you can still handle it and ignite that explorer feeling in you. Even though Subnautica can be a game that will make you squeeze your buttocks harder than you knew is possible, it can also be quite a relaxing experience. That is, if you are into base building. Base building is one of the foundations that makes Subnautica great. If you grow a pair of balls at the start of the game and set out to explore, you quickly notice that you can find materials in the game that will later let you abandon that little life raft you started out on for something you can call home. The life raft houses a thing called Fabricator that will enable you to make something helpful out of all those materials you found. In there you can make yourself a habitat builder that will help you to, well, build habitats. This is the part where you remember all those pirated versions of Sims 3 you used to play as a kid and built yourself your dream home with the help of a motherlode cheat code to make you rich quickly. It is time to put those skills back to the test. Unfortunately, if you're a real gamer, you're playing survival mode in Subnautica and don't have tons of materials to build what you want. So for the start, you should probably just drop yourself a simple underwater room and slap a home sweet home sign on it. Me? Well, since I am making a video, of course I'll later boot up creative mode because I'm totally not scared to play the game normally the second time. You will probably also notice that the new home you built is basically an iron underwater trap for now, because you have no power and oxygen inside of it. But as any other climate activist would do, just slap a solar panel on the roof of that thing and you're good. At least till night comes. As you expand the base, you have to worry about its integrity as well. Build too much without reinforcing stuff, your underwater base will start leaking and fill up with water in no time. Once you are more comfortable with exploring in the game, you will set out further and further from the starting area, finding blueprints for new technology and tools, underwater vehicles, and rarer materials that will enable you to expand your base or even move if you don't like the starting area. You have no limitations of how many bases you can build in the game, so if you found a place you think might be worth having a safe haven at, just start building there and expand your underwater Atlantis. Honestly, base building is such a big feature of Subnautica that I can probably make a whole second video just about that, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified of when I post more videos. Alright, so you already explored a bit around the starting area, gathered enough materials for a starter base, and built it, and now you're wondering, what now? Now the only thing left to do is explore more. Just before doing that, you might want to grab a pair of diapers. The view of bright blue seawater and sandy bottom of the ocean you got used to in the beginning of the game is literally just the beginning of the game. The game's map is huge in a horizontal and vertical scale. There are tons of different zones in the game that are called biomes, and they offer different experiences, materials, and of course, local fauna. And in order to progress in the game, you have to explore, and yes, explore more. During your voyages, you will discover tablets, or as the game calls them, PDAs, scattered around the ocean from your crashing spaceship that will help you uncover the secrets of the planet and will point you in the right direction to find more clues and put the story all together. Just make sure to read about all the things you find, because some of those clues that helps you progress are hidden in those PDA codex entries. Unfortunately, with exploring, danger follows not that far behind. There will be points in the game where you will grab your things as soon as you can and no back to your base to clean out that diaper you took with you previously. And you will probably need to shut down the game to gather yourself for another go later on. But like I said previously, exploring the map plays a huge part in uncovering the story behind the game, so whether you like it or not, you will have to leave that comfort zone if you are driven enough to finish the game. Subnautica is the type of a video game that can catch even the veterans off guard if they get too relaxed, so just be ready for an unforgettable experience. You also might be wondering if Subnautica is still a game that is being played worldwide, and to that I can say, who the hell cares? The game is single player only, so no matter the player count, you can still enjoy it as it was released yesterday. If you still want to know the answer to that question, then yes, even on Steam the game is still sustaining at least a few thousand daily players and has been for years, with occasional spikes in player counts due to sales or free giveaways. For example, I was able to grab Subnautica a few years ago when Epic Games was doing a giveaway for it, and I was very pleasantly surprised that they gave away such a good game. In my opinion, Subnautica is definitely the game that is worth even its full price of $30 US. Going back to the player count topic, we can also take into consideration that the game is also on other platforms like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. It is safe to assume that the game is far from dead even after 10 years. If we would talk about the PC version of the game though, I must add that mods are probably the thing keeping people intrigued in the game and making them replay it. Even though the game does not support Steam Workshop for easy modding, you can find an extremely large amounts of mods in modding sites like Nexus Mods and tinker your Subnautica experience to your liking in one way or another. From quality of life mods to new content in the game, you can explore the modding options and choose what is right for you. I also must mention the biggest mod ever for Subnautica that is still not released yet and is unknown if it's ever going to, but it is called The Return of the Ancients and it will add several features to the base game, but it is best known for adding the gargantuan Leviathan into the game. Just have a look at it for yourself.
What the hell? It's been an honor.
As you can see, modding can really change of how Subnautica can be played and can definitely be another reason for you to replay the game if you played it in the past or intrigue you enough to get into it for the first time. Oh, and remember how I said that the game is single player only? Apparently that can also change with the help of mods. One mod called Nitrox can transform Subnautica and make it into multiplayer, so you could play it with your friends on one single map. Looks like it is even possible to connect up to 100 players to one server. I imagine that would be something. Unfortunately, for the time being, it is only supported for Steam version of the game, so if you have the game on Epic Store like me, tough luck I guess. If you tried multiplayer Subnautica already, let me know how it was in the comments down below. All in all, even after 10 years, Subnautica can still offer something new to the gaming community. This is the type of game that you can boot up if you want a surge of adrenaline one day, but also a type of game that you can relax with after a hard day at work or school. Just make sure to not leave your base. Due to the game's art style, graphically it still stands up today as a beautiful game. So even if you're a person that needs good graphics to play a certain game, this one shouldn't cause any issues for you. It's vast, vibrant, colorful, and you will definitely find yourself in such moments in the game where you are embracing an underwater sunset and just taking it in. Video games are a form of art for a reason after all, and this game is a perfect example of that. Tell me in the comments down below what are your thoughts on Subnautica. Have you ever played it, or is this the first time you are hearing about it? If you did play it, share your experiences. What are the moments that made you go like, wow, this is definitely one of the coolest games I've ever played? And if you didn't, what intrigues you the most to finally give it a go? If you ask me, every person that calls themselves a gamer should give Subnautica at least a try to see if it's their cup of tea, because it's definitely worth at least a chance to impress you. And as always, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up on it, share it with your friends, family, teachers, co-workers, and anyone else that comes up to your mind, and also follow me on other socials. You can find the links to them in the video description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.